Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Winmore Lockdown TV chat. This time, all the way from Canada, we've got Jeff Smith. Jeff, first of all, thanks for joining us. And how's things with you?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, really. Like I said, definitely missing my darts, but as far as the real world back here in Canada, I've been working 40 hours a week and enjoying it. So yeah, trying to stay sharp, but
In
glad
terms,
when this is over.
in terms of lockdown, how is it in Canada? Are you on total lockdown like other parts of the world, or is it still quite free at the moment?
Yeah, well, in New Brunswick, we're a province in Canada, and like I said, the restrictions are actually beginning to lift, which is good for us. I think we've got one confirmed case in the entire province, so you could basically fit all of England in the size of New Brunswick. So we're pretty happy with that, and I think as of today, I think we're allowed groups of 50. So with social distancing, of course, but we're looking up where other parts of Canada is not so lucky.
I was going to say, because it all kicked off quite bad, didn't it, when they shut the US-Canada border and there was a lot of tension at the time. But is that eased a little bit now as well?
Yeah, the borders are all pretty much still closed. Like I said, as far as that goes, but they're taking a precautious approach to it, and I think they're doing the right thing. Really, you're just gonna have to wait it out, and just kind of like the rest of the world, we'll have to. Hopefully, this goes away soon enough.
When you left the UK to go home, did you imagine that this was how it was going to end and there'd be no darts for so long?
No, I had no clue whatsoever. I figured, oh well, this will phase over in a month or so, and I'll be back to work, and just not the case, is it?
Are you a big practicer at home, or is it tough to try and stay sharp when there's no end date in sight when you're going to play again?
I'm actually more of a big practicer at work. My boss actually, this is at work where you're calling. Uh, my boss loves darts. We've got 4 different dart boards, a couple of soft tip machines, so we're pretty well stocked. Usually 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock we throw every day, and he's getting better, but he's keeping me sharp at the same time. So
It's good to hear. Obviously, you took part in the PDC home tour as well. What was that like? Was that a completely new experience, and was it tough to adapt?
yeah, it's a lot of people that haven't played webcam darts before. It's a totally different experience. I played probably 7 or 8 years ago. I used to play all the time on it, so a little bit used to it.
Yeah.
But that format is so cutthroat with the plus minus and the just the limited number of people in the group. You can play great and not make it through.
As well, I know. Obviously, if you had time to look back during this downtime and what you've achieved in a short space of time since Q School and achieving your tour card and everything like that.
Yeah, it's really disappointing for me more than anything because like I said, I put the effort in. I lost my shot back in August, and I really hit the board hard and came to Q School prepared and had a great start. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I should be catching a flight to Germany to play my first Euro tour, and I'm catching one back home, and then that was it. So yeah, it's been a frustrating stretch for sure.
When you look back at Q School, what was it like walking through the door for the first time and just seeing that amount of people all trying to get a limited number of cards?
Yeah, I think it was back 2012, 13. I went through the first time, and I think there was about 128 people or in thereabouts, and it's just so mentally hard to get through that because you can play the best darts of your life and lose in the first round, and or you can get extremely lucky in draws and make it 3 or 4 rounds and get your points. So it's when you're dealing with that many entries, it's basically a crapshoot. There's no doubt about it.
Is that tough for players knowing that obviously you could, like, I know I spoke to Paul Nicholson and you could have drawn him first round where someone else could have got someone that's just turned up for a bit of a laugh and a giggle. Is that sort of like frustrating as a professional player as well, that there's no sort of like seeding or anything like that from the pros that do this for a living to the ones that are just shooting on a dream?
Yeah, it's not so much that it's the fact that you know what I mean. Just because of the entries, they've got to find a way to, as far as I'm concerned, to limit them down somehow. Because like I said, if you can't win rounds in Q School, you're not going to win it on the PDC tour either. So, yeah, like ultimately, you're trying to become a world professional, and you have to beat professionals in order to do that. So, if they could find a way to limit those numbers somehow or regionalize it some way to basically, you know what I mean, to cut it down to so there's 500 players instead of 1,000, it definitely makes it a lot easier to get through.
As well, missing out on Ali Pally this year, was that the motivation you needed for Q School as well? Was that obviously a bit appeal, but like, hang on a minute, I can work on this and I need to get to here?
Yeah, that's the first time in 6 years that I've missed a world championship, and it hurts. You know what I mean? and I was very close in Vegas. I had a crack at the bullseye and had a little distraction at the end there from Dan Dawson, but him and I've worked it out. He's a good buddy of mine, and unlucky, just things happen, I guess, the way they are, and like I said, you can't change the past, but you can definitely change the future.
I was going to say as well, from there winning your tour card, you got to a PDC final as well on the Pro Tour, narrowly missing out. But what was that like getting to your first ranking final as well in the PDC?
Yeah, I was just looking to play one game at a time, and when the draw came out, it was Dave Chisnell first round, and I'm thinking, no, that's my luck. Here we go. And like I said, I was lucky enough just to squeak by Dave, and then that kind of started the little bit of momentum for the rest of the day. And no, I was quite happy to get to that final. You know what I mean? No shame in losing to Gary 8-4 in a final of the PDC.
Did you set yourself any goals when you first come over? And are you on, or were you on course before the break where you wanted to be in relation to your form and ranking?
I really want to hit the top 64 in that first season, just to anchor my spot into the PDC for another couple of years. But like I said, with this COVID-19, it's hard to say where anything's going to go right now. Uh, do the PDC extend tour cards? Do they add more events, cancel events, and who's that going to affect? There's so many variables that's going to take in. So yeah, it's just a waiting game, and we're all in the same boat. So hopefully it'll work out in the end.
Guessing as well, there's been a lot of chat around how many events are going to go ahead. The back end of the year, it could be absolute chaos in terms of the number of events in a row. Are you preparing yourself to base yourself in the UK for maybe 3-4 months at a time to do all these events?
Yeah, and that's basically what I've been doing. I've been hitting a month stretch pretty well each time that I've gone over since Q school, and if anybody it's going to benefit, it's going to be me. It's going to be the ones that are working full time in the UK that need those jobs in order to continue playing the tour that it's going to hurt. But if they start playing events through the week, that's only going to benefit me because I'm there anyway.
Again, I'm guessing you'll base yourself around the Wigan, Barnsley area, somewhere around there to get all the Pro Tours in, if that's where they are going to be.
It's all depends on friends and family, I guess, more than anything. It's going to be hard to leave my wife and kids behind for any length of time. But like I said, I've always got lots of friends and stuff that I can stay with when I'm over there. So
As well, looking at darts, obviously, I know that we spoke at the UK Open and you were absolutely gutted that the opportunity wasn't there to try and qualify for the US Darts Masters in MSG this year. Now, obviously, that's been put back a year. Are you hoping that the dates are a little bit more kind next year so you get the chance and maybe the possibility to play in MSG?
yeah, that was a huge thing for me because like I said, I've made the last two finals, so and played well there, and to have those dates conflict with PDC events, then that pretty much eliminated one of the top players in North America from the opportunity to qualify. So hopefully they look at the schedule a little bit better this time, and hopefully we can come to an agreement. I can get over there.
After you raise those concerns, obviously with the guys that do the CDC qualification and everything like that, do you think they will look at the PDC schedule this time when they redo the dates then?
And the hearts out to those guys too. They're doing the best they can because there are so many dates on that PDC calendar, and there's going to be even more now. So it's going to be hard to not conflict, but hopefully they can do something to make it work.
As well, darts in North America are really on the up at the moment. Obviously, yourself having great success now in the PDC. Danny Baggish at the World Championships stole the show almost, and the CDC going from strength to strength. Have you noticed as well by watching it, the CDC, when you've not been playing in it, how good the standard has become?
Yeah, you used to have to worry about maybe a handful of players at best, and now there's 16 or 20 that can push you at any given time. And like I said, a lot of the draws and stuff are just it's in its infancy really because of the Ali Pali spots and the U.S. Master spots. It's going to take a couple of years for it to pan out schedule wise as far as getting the players that should be seeded. And other than that, it's going to be some bad draws up until that 2 or 3 year mark. And hopefully, like I said, if we can get all of North America supporting it and we can get our best players up, the standard will continue to rise.
Talking of the US Darts Masters as well, moving to now the East Coast of America, the city that doesn't sleep. Vegas was obviously brilliant for different reasons. But do you think this is the best thing for North American darts to move the PDC tournament like it is there to the East Coast where seems to be a bigger steel tip darting community?
Yeah, the well is going to be a lot bigger to draw from. There's no doubt about with the amount of players here on the Eastern Seaboard, Canada and U.S., because it makes it easier for us to all get there. Downside of it to New York is it's quite expensive, but Madison Square Gardens, it's not going to get much better than that for a venue.
Is that almost for obviously for like American stroke Canadian players? Is that almost bigger than playing Ali Pally playing at MSG because of the history and everything that goes with it?
Yeah, it's Rangers home base, but it's been known to be one of the biggest sporting venues in the world, let alone just within North America. So, yeah, to see how that stage is going to pan out, I'm quite looking forward to hopefully being a part of it.
As well, I'm going to go back to your game here as well. With the long break, with no what we call competitive play, are you worried where your form's going to be when we do restart? And is it going to take some adjusting, not just for you, but for everyone to get that little bit of sharpness back?
Yeah, I've been staying as committed as possible. Like I said, I've been on the board pretty much every day, and I know when I'm playing well and when I'm not. And like I said, right where I'm at right now, I'm probably right where I was when I left. So hopefully, like I said, the game time situation is obviously a little bit different, but it's not going to take long for most of us guys because there's really nothing else to do other than practice starts right now.
Are you one that tinkers with your setup as well in the downtime? Or are you very much standard? You know what works for you, or have you been practicing with different flights, stems, and combinations, or anything?
Uh, Barrels, really. I've just in this last year, I've switched to my 21 grams. And like I said, I found a little slimmer barrel gives me a little bit more scoring area. The flights and stems pretty much stays unchanged. But like I said, I can't complain with what Windmill has there for me. They've designed a great barrel. Almost time to design a new one, but I'm playing so well with these ones. I hate to change right now.
Was that a tough thing to do? Was come down to a lighter dart? Did that take some getting used to, or was it not too bad?
It actually, they were available for the better part of a year, and I didn't even try them. Like I said, I was having success with the 23 grams, and I just happened to change up, and it was actually right. Was it in the World Cup? I believe it was. I decided I'll give these a try, and I played really well there, and I've kind of just stuck with them ever since.
Jeff, absolute pleasure taking time out to talk to us here at Webcam TV, mate. We appreciate it. And stay well, stay safe over in Canada. And we can't wait to see you back here in the UK playing some professional darts again, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Phil. Thanks for having me, guys.